Have any frontline providers told you that homelessness is increasing because of the changes of policy that we've brought in?
Frontline providers have a variety of comments. They're very happy with the amount of tamariki that have come out of emergency housing, being over 3,000. They have also said that we've been very clear around our expectations regarding responsibilities with emergency housing.
Providers told you that homelessness has gone up because of your policies? We've got 8 minutes. Please answer the question.
Mr. Chair, I'd like the opportunity to actually speak without being spoken over. If I have that opportunity, I might be able to get directly to those questions, which actually exist in a context. The various community housing providers and others have observed a number of things, including some observations around homelessness, if you are meaning rough sleeping. They also observed, as did the census, the amount of people rough sleeping between 2017 and 23 increased remarkably.
Has frontline providers told you that homelessness has gone up because of the policies that you have brought in?
If the member is asking about rough sleeping, which is part of a homelessness description alongside uninhabitable housing and a range of other matters, they have again announced that yes, homelessness, rough sleeping increased significantly between 2017 and 2023, and there continues to be levels of homelessness. They've also observed that there are various pathways for people who are homeless to access housing, whether or not that's rapid rehousing, transitional or other matters.
Well, I'll ask it another way then. Frontline providers have said to your face that because of the changes you brought in, homelessness has gone up, haven't they?
Some frontline providers have said that it may be the case that the gateway changes to emergency housing have contributed to homelessness.
So all you're willing to say is it might be the case?
No, that's what the provider said, Member. That's what the provider said.
$1 billion of savings as a result of changing the criteria for emergency housing, and yet homelessness is increasing, according to frontline providers, at unprecedented rates.
No, that's what the providers said, and that's announced in homelessness insight reports that we gather.
And isn't it the case that in between census reports, the only information that you have as a government, and indeed any government, to gauge levels of homelessness is the feedback from frontline providers? So if you were dismissing that direct feedback, how can we have confidence that you are adequately addressing the need that is growing?
The member inaccurately depicts the variety of sources that we have around a variety of housing matters, including homelessness. Councils and others also provide us with feedback.
Has homelessness grown?
Question, Ricardo.
I'll ask that question because that was in my list. Has homelessness grown since you've been a minister?
Well, I think it's important to very, very clearly clarify whether or not you're talking about uninhabitable housing, overcrowding, people staying in motels, which has gone down by 85%, as you know, including children, or rough sleeping. There's a range of different forms used to define what you're talking about.
I'll move on to my supplementary then. Is everyone within genuine need being supported into emergency housing?
Well, we know absolutely clearly that we have a view, and that is carried out and implemented by officials, that those with a genuine need for short-term stay and temporary accommodation in most towns in New Zealand are able to access that within the responsibilities framework that applies.
We've heard from many organizations that work with survivors of sexual and family violence who have expressed concerns that people who they're working with are being turned away by work and income when they're trying to support people into emergency housing. Is that acceptable?
I think, again, what is the context on a specific case that you are describing? If it is the case that people are turned away from emergency housing as a result of being categorised as contributing to their situation as victims of violence, then that is not a practice that we condone. We have said this on various occasions that you cannot use that as a basis at an official's level, as a basis for a decision to turn people away from the process of applying for and progressing in emergency housing applications.
Can he make his expectations then clear to victims of sexual and family violence around what work and income should do should organizations go to MSD in need of emergency housing?
My expectations have been clear to the officials.
I meant your commitments, Minister.
My expectations around that particular issue have been clear to officials. You cannot turn people away as a result of contributing to the circumstances because they are victims of sexual or domestic violence. That is not a legitimate reason to turn people away from progressing through an emergency housing application process.